Ah, Simon Gordon, no. Funny guy. Hey everybody, what is going on? This is the Hyread Gaze MINI. Hyread is a company from Taiwan, and typically they only make e-notes and color devices. This is the weekly live where we show things live, weekly. My name's Peter, this is Goody Reader, let's get into it. Hello Mom, what's going on? So, let us drop the top down here and see what we're working with. This is an e-reader, everybody. And if you guys don't know, e-readers are becoming, to be completely honest, rare. 6 inches. Almost nobody makes 6 inches anymore. Simon, I'm not sure what the kind of problem is with the ads. You do know that ads make, it gives us the ability to make money off of the videos we do, that when we do the videos, there's a short ad that plays, so sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. Nicholas Pinotti, what's going on? So this is an ebook reader, and why 6 inches are getting more rare is because typically people want bigger devices. Because if you look at it, Amazon has deviated 75% of their devices away from 6 inches. They're now 10.2 on the Scribe, and 7 inches on the Oasis, and 6.8 on the Paperwhite. So that is a little bit unfortunate that 6-inch ebook readers are actually not on their way out, but they're definitely not prioritized anymore, nowhere near what they once were. The Hyread Gaze Mini is fairly unique in the way that it looks unique, and it is unique on pretty much in every perceivable way. It's a basic e-reader, but it has an SD card and audio on board, which is really kind of welcomed, because a lot of the time, even Barnes & Noble devices, oh, here's the Nook. I got Nook right here. They have audio on here, and they have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and they have Bluetooth, but unfortunately what they don't have is any sort of onboard audio. The reason you want onboard audio in almost any circumstance is because it really just gives you a chance to get your bearings. Where am I in this ebook? Where am I in this audiobook? Where am I on this song? You can at least get an idea of where you are, and then you can connect to Bluetooth or put a 3.5mm headphone jack in, a headphone into the jack. That's kind of nice in that regard, that they give you physical speakers on board. Speaking of physical, they give you physical page turn buttons, 4 of them in fact. You have you have page forward, back, and you have a back button that allows you to actually go back in the queue of processes. So that's really nice as well. Why else this is unique is because although it is an e-reader, you get apps. And yes, you can install APK files because this is running, I believe, Android 11. Let's go look at the system versione. Yeah, it's got Android 11 on it. So not only do you have the ability to use it as is, you can download Kindle, Nook, Kobo, Sony, Aldeco, anything on here, and that gives you the ability to craft this into your own experience. Now they do have a store. Sorry, I'm sweating like a banshee over here. They do have a store. It's not very good. This is not a dig at any manufacturer. Onyx gives you their own stores. Hisense gives you stores. Everyone gives you their own stores, but we don't really ever recommend them because they're usually filled with either a proprietary language, so in this sense, Taiwanese content only. There's usually no English content on there, and it's usually just public domain stuff you can get on Project Gutenberg, in which case you can simply just go to where we were a second ago. Wow, that's a terrible hitbox, that more. You see that? It took me like 5 tries. So you can go to Project Gutenberg here and just read books on the fly. So really there's no major advantage into using the stores that come bundled with the devices typically. Usually it's just there as a pleasantry, a way to get content when really nothing substantial is going to be there. And that's really the way it goes, and that's the honest truth of the matter. You can turn on the floating ball, which everyone has adopted now. Everyone. And they all copied Onyx. Hyread's now doing it. Big Me does it. A couple other manufacturers do it. Floating ball is really nice. It gives you the chance to clean things up, hit up settings, go back, give you a little bit more control. You know, nothing too crazy, but is what it is. We have library as well. Library is going to be where all of your books are, and you can actually access other libraries, but none of them are going to be in the North American market. So if you're looking for a library in New York or Los Angeles, it's not going to be listed. It's mostly going to be just mainland China, Taiwan, and it'll be like Singapore will have a location of library. You can go to and honestly, I don't even know what that is. I can't remember what that is. I don't know what this is actually. Yeah, and that's why we do these lives, because we're exploring. Oh, wait a sec. Enable Google Play services. What's going on here? Does this thing have Google Play on it? Are we just discovering this now? That it's telling me to enable Google Play services? Okay, enable. Oh, and it doesn't do anything. Okay, what if I force stop it first? Force stop. Disable. Oh, wait. Does that mean it is disabled, or I need to enable it? Oh, if you disable this app, no, don't disable it. Okay, that's just very confusing. Okay, it's gone. Well, that was the end of that. Yeah, I don't believe this has any Google Play on it because Hyread devices typically do not come with Google Play. There's only a few manufacturers that actually do, but we'll definitely look into what that was a second ago. Yeah, that's a nice discovery. Geez, I mean, like, seriously, I did not know that would happen. I'm wondering now, I'm just going to be completely fixating on the fact that this may have Google Play on it now. I'm going to have to go to App Info and see if it has anything. Well, it's got Google Play services right here, and it's got Gboard. I don't want to disable it. Okay, we're going to look at this later. I don't want to bore you guys with this now. I'll send it over to the team because I'm not a master at this, but our other guys are. They're quite good. If you want to read on this, you can sideload in your own content. You can sideload in your own apps. You can use web-based browsers for ebooks and stuff like that. And you can listen to music, you can do sound recording, you can do a whole slew of things because this leaves it open to whatever you want to make it. It doesn't restrict you in making this your own. You have a calculator on here, which... Oh, I clipped the screen recorder. We'll click on the calculator, which is just a calculator. 9 minus 6 equals 3. Hey, cool. Nice. So, what else is up with this thing? Nothing much, really. Now, there's nothing wrong with Hyread. They're a very good company, but I have noticed that they don't really have a lot... I don't want to say like preloaded on there because, we don't really want a lot of bloatware. But there's nothing that truly makes this unique on the inside. A lot of it has to do with the outside. The SD card, the physical page turn buttons, the fact that it's in white, it looks different, you know what I mean? It's crafted differently, and it's a different approach to ebook readers aside from just these cookie cutter slates. So in that regard, it looks really nice. But then when you get into it, you're like, what really sets this aside from anything else? And the answer is not really much. And it's kind of sad to say. Yeah, it has audio, but that's really where you live and die by because everything can install apps nowadays. Everything can install APKs. Everybody has audio. Tons of manufacturers have expandable storage. What makes the Hyread Gaze completely different than something else? And also, it's not even down to the point of it being a $100 e-reader, like a Pocketbook Lux line, you know what I mean, or Basic 4. It's not really down to the point where it's like, okay, well, I can forgive these because it's $100. It's not. I believe it's over 200. So, actually, I'm gonna check on that right now because is this over $200? I think it actually might be. Let me look this up. I think it is. You see that's gonna be a yeah, it's $215. Yeah, okay. So, we're very unbiased here. We give everything a fair chance and we always look at the pros and cons. And yeah, I believe the pros end at the overall construction of the unit. I think that's it because on the inside, yeah, we can pull the natural pros of it being able to install APKs and have onboard audio, but like that's been done a lot by a lot of manufacturers. Yeah, Simon, it's $200. That's nothing That's nothing cheap. You can get how many $14 refurb last generation Kindles could you get for $200? Well, that's a math equation that I'll need my calculator for, and because I can install APKs, I have it. Yeah, so I like to look at these devices that come out of different countries, and I'm like, okay, well, how, and obviously it's an e-reader, guys. It does what it needs to do. It reads books. But, our industry is that we over meticulously break things down and find the uniqueness of everything. And we have to be this meticulous. Otherwise, what are we doing? Everything that comes across the desk will be like, oh, it reads books. Okay, cool. Hey, look at this. This reads books. We can't take it that unprofessionally. We really have to get into the devices. And I must say that this one, it's not unimpressive. It's just like what do you have that someone else doesn't? And it's $200. Now, that's not a dig at Hyread as a total, because they actually do have something we're going to get into next week and a review subsequently, I think today or tomorrow, which is the Gaze Note Plus CC, which is a color Kaleido 3 unit. Fantastic unit. I played with it already. But we start to really reveal why lots of manufacturers are getting away from 6-inch devices. Every single 6-inch device that comes across our desk is just kind of unimpressive, because we even see things like Nook. Barnes & Noble has finally abandoned the 6-inch, and they're going with larger screens. Same with Kobo, same with Kindle, same with a lot of manufacturers out there are not going the route of 6-inch screen sizes anymore, because they just don't do enough for the spec-hungry audience. Again, harking back to the fact that this is an e-reader and it reads books. Of course it does. Anything will. Absolutely anything will. Yeah, Android apps, you said it, but again, that's nothing new. We've seen that a billion times before, and now more manufacturers than ever have out-of-the-box Google Play. So, and this doesn't. This has Google Play services, which we're just discovering now because this was not instructed to us by Hyread. But it doesn't even have Google Play out of the box discoverable on the front page. So that's what I'm saying, is that this isn't doing anything that anyone else is doing. And one thing that we found a lot of companies kind of strive for is low price points, like Y-Band and stuff like that. For them to release an $89 e-reader, it's like, whoa, that's crazy. This is over $215. So this is going to break the bank, and once you get it, you're like, okay, I have a bookstore I can't use, and then I have apps that I'll have to source myself from the browser or the e-ink browser, and then, I have this kind of basic small unit after the fact. And again, we're not hating on the company as a whole, but I would have even said Image 256, IMG 256, which is a very good grayscale global blanket thing that a lot of manufacturers are doing now. I mean, iReader's been doing it for years now. So, and I'm not saying you have to be there first to be the best and everything else that comes after is not good. That's not what we're saying, but we are just definitely saying that, this isn't like wowing us. This isn't wowing us, and that's what's going on with this. What do we got here? I love my MeBook 6-inch for manga and I have terrible eyesight. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely something to be said that 6 inches were the golden standard of ebook readers back in the day. That's where it all started. It all stemmed from that. Every manufacturer has at some point considered or made a 6-inch device. Some manufacturers don't even touch them, like Dasung and Bigme and Hisense. They hover around it, but they don't actually hit it. So it is interesting to see that something that started it all has gone kind of to the wayside, because manufacturers want to give the people what they want, and everyone wants bigger screens. That's literally what's going on. So what else do you guys have to ask about this thing? We are going to get into a full review on it, and we are going to explore... Oh, I can fit my whole library in my pocket. Yeah, does this fit in the pocket? You know what? As Simon said, this is a big bezel. It doesn't really fit in the pocket that well. It's got fairly large bezels. I know that's to accommodate the physical page turn buttons, which I very much appreciate. That's the best thing about this unit, is that it looks and feels and performs great. Nothing wrong with that. But I do feel it's very 2016-ish in the way they approach the screen to body ratio. Again, not everything has to be a piece of glass with 98%. You're like, oh, I can't even see the bezels. But this is kind of chunky. It is very chunky. And it's like Nook Simple Touch chunky from 2014 kind of thing. So that's what we're faced with here, is that this is a chunky dunker. And I think we're going to have to get into this in a review. And whatever the guys have, we got some questions here. Use my 6 inch as much as my ink note. Oh, cool, we got an ink note. Nice. La Vie says maybe they're positioning it as a basic e-reader that allows APK install. Yeah, for sure. But all of their e-readers, from the Gaze Note, the Gaze Note Plus, the Gaze Note CC, they all install APKs. They all allow APK installs, and they all have a blanket OS like this. So your UI, your user interface, is going to be the exact same on every single one. So in that regard, they're not like, you know what I mean? This doesn't have like a kind of a micro pocket size, more lightweight experience, maybe with a card system or panel system, you know what I mean? They don't really mix it up or differentiate it from the rest of their units, is what I'm saying. And one big thing they could have done is, yeah, definitely lowered the price. If this was like within the, you know, the $100, aka between, well, 0 and $199, so you see that one digit, but for it to crack the $214 range, it pushes it into a threshold where it's like, okay, for $329 I'm getting e-notes, I'm getting color, I'm getting so much more value for just a little bit more. Whereas if this was in the world of cheaper devices, like, okay, well, that's a huge chasm. I gotta make a choice now, or buy both, you know. Excuse me, sorry. Danky Frankie says it's an old-looking device. It does look old. It looks unique. It does, and it has a setup that I've never seen before, which is opposing backs and fronts with a back button on both sides, which I heard are key mappable. But it does look old. It does look a little bit dated. If they even changed it so much as putting a piano finish around instead of a matte, because this does look like, yeah, simple touchy kind of territory, that is, or any sort of texture, you know, a lot of manufacturers that don't want to change the materials on the front or back, they end up adding a little bit of a texture or a little bit of a pattern, like the Xiaomi Moan Air. That one looked really unique, and it was all due to the color scheme. It was like a light blue kind of thing. The Xiaomi W8 had a leather backing. You know what I mean? So there's little tiny things you can do to separate yourself from other devices and give yourself a little bit more modern feel. I think the Poke 5 is almost the same price. No, I believe the Poke 5 is cheaper. I believe it's cheaper. Let me look into that just before I land at that conclusion. I think it's actually cheaper. Where it is, $179, Poke 5. Yeah. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, you're right, guys. Poke 5 is very modern looking. Very modern looking with the kind of two-tone contrasting black and what do you call dark gray kind of bezel situation at the bottom. Very nice choice. Absolutely love the Poke 5. This one, yeah, a little bit dated. I think I'd get the Poke and the Mi Book instead. Yeah, you know what? I would get the Poke or the Mi Book over this for sure, but I would probably get the Gaze Note Plus CC over some other readers, and we will get into that. I'll show you. It's quite nice, and it's a huge departure from this, because this is so good on the outside and unimpressive on the inside, but the Gaze Note Plus CC, mouthful of a name, is quite an impressive unit overall, I must say. It's very nice. Let's see what we got here. Looking old, you're less likely to get mugged. Oh, you mean the unit. Yeah. And you know what's funny? I went to the beach yesterday, and I had my stuff on the beach blanket. Went with my boy, and someone stole our umbrella, our beach umbrella, a big ass beach umbrella, size of a beach umbrella. It was plugged into the ground with our mat. Went to the water, came back, still there. Went to the water again, came back. Beach umbrella was gone. Looked around, I don't know, 900 people. What am I gonna do? Hey, have you ever seen an umbrella? Yeah, ridiculous. But yeah, you are right, man. You get mugged anywhere. Absolutely mugged anywhere. They didn't steal any of our stuff, just the umbrella. Someone must have really needed an umbrella. In that case, if you needed it that bad, take it. That's fine. Yeah, Poke 5 and then an extra SD card. That would be really nice if they make a Poke 5 special edition, limited edition. They've done that a couple times. They made like a Valentine edition of a Poke 4, something like that. And then the Poke 4 as well had the light edition. The international one as well. So yeah, they could still do something with Onyx. Onyx loves incremental upgrades, and we love Onyx for loving incremental upgrades. You know why, by the way, everybody? Because you're not asking about this, I'm going to tell you. You know why so many companies do incremental upgrades? Because they don't make any money after they sell the unit. When Onyx and Hisense and Hyread and iReader and Fujitsu and Sony and every single manufacturer except for Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Amazon. Every manufacturer, like the ones we show you here, like these ones and the Hanvons and the Big Me's and everything, and the iReaders and the iFlyTechs, they make $0 after they sold your unit. That's why this is $200. Because they're not making Prime subscriptions, audio subscriptions, Amazon Music, Amazon, what do you call it, like where you read those little serial reads and editorials and stuff like that. 30-day trial, click here to cancel. They don't make anything. That's why companies like Onyx, the biggest example of them all, have to do incremental upgrades. Poke 1, Poke 2, Poke 3, Poke 4, Poke 4 Lite, Poke 3 Color, Poke 5, because they have to. It's the only way for them to make money, and that's fine, I guess, because what are they going to do? Sell one e-reader and then wait 16 years for it to... People still say, oh, I still have my e-reader from 2007. It's like, that's not a good business model if you want to stay in business. It's true, though. It's wasteful, and it's excessive, but it is true. That is absolutely true. I want an Onyx, but as far as I know, I don't usually have SD card slots. You make a good point. Most of them don't. The Tab Mini... One of them doesn't have it. The Tab Mini C doesn't have SD. But the Page does. Right? Somebody? There you go. Tab Ultra. Yep, Tab Ultra has it. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. The recent releases, everyone was like, oh, you should have put an SD. The Tab Mini doesn't have one. But the Leaf 2 white sunken screen and bezel, black flush screen and bezel, or the Leaf 2 successor, the Page, will all have SDs. And the Palma... Yeah, we are very disappointed in the Palma. The Onyx sent samples. I don't know who was in their PR department, but they sent samples to 2 review outlets that had significantly, like a sixth of the user base that we do. And they messaged us and they're like, oh, we forgot to send you one. We're like, yeah, you forgot. So... yeah, they told us that they apologized and they'll send us one. There's also some Chinese model. Oh yeah, no, we're not allowed to review the Chinese ones. We can do whatever we want. We're not in bed with Onyx. They don't pay us. They don't sponsor us. But they suggest that we don't review the X, the Nova 5, etc. And we're like, we're a private company that reviews things. Why can't we do whatever we want? And they say, oh, it'll confuse people and muddy up the lineup. And I'm like, well, that's not our problem. In the nicest way possible. Like, not our problem. You made 18 devices. So professional courtesy, we're like, you know what? If you're that against us reviewing them as an international North American based news outlet, we won't do it. That's fine, whatever. It's not a big deal, but it's more of just a professional courtesy thing. They're like, please don't. Obviously we can do whatever we want. We just get them and review them, but we play ball with our players. So that's it, everybody. We're done. The Gaze blah 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 mini, big miss. Don't buy it. Gaze Note Plus CC. Buy that. That's cool. That's coming up next. I just wanted to get this live out of the way. Honestly, I did. Good try, but I'm gonna put you right over here, right over there, and you stay there. Yeah, we're moving on. Thank you to Hyread for sending us a sample. We're gonna be doing a review. We're gonna be getting into a bunch of stuff. I know we haven't done a contest in a while. We've been busy as dynamite. It's a terrible analogy because dynamite's not busy. And we will get into a whole bunch. I think we're doing a contest right now. I'm not sure if I saw it on the little, we have a Kaite board that we have our shot list on and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm doing audio on a blah 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 on a contest, but I know we got a lot of stuff kicking back there. Oh yeah, by the way, we Debunk the Funk about to do a live stream on YouTube. I don't know who that is. If you guys want a Dasung monitor for a cheap price, our guys at the e-commerce department put it on eBay. So we have a Dasung Paperlike 253, which is usually $2,000 on eBay for like $600. I'm not kidding. It's our name. So yeah. I like my ink note for comics. The UI is wonky. Really? I haven't found anything wrong with a Big Me UI. I don't know why people keep saying that. It looks just like an Onyx. They basically copied each other back and forth. There's nothing wrong with the UI on Big Me. There's a bunch of things wrong with the UIs on Hanvon. Absolutely needs work. iReader needs work. Hyread needs some work. But Big Me, no, that's like industry standard. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, lot of stuff going on. We have too much stuff backlogged in the queue. We really got to get back to work. Might actually, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do first. Brian, the person reading this, is awesome. Hey, bro. Oh, hey, Brian. Oh, that is your name. Okay, I saw that really long name commenting on a bunch of stuff. Thank you very much for being so supportive and watching our content. But yeah, that's it. Got to get back to work. And there was no secret phrase today because we don't do that. Bye-bye. Yes, thank you, Frankie. The Me Book UI is really good.